I'm obsessed with symbols. I think you can tell a lot about us and our ancestors by the way we use symbolism. Some symbols can be found in different cultures all over the world. Others are specific to one and have hidden messages. Civilizations and nation-states carefully choose the symbols which represent them. Businesses do the same thing with their logos, and YouTube channels do with their icons. Mine is a polar bear, although I can't remember why. Here are 10 important symbols and their meanings. The Staff of Hermes is derived from Greek and Egyptian mythology. It was carried by a messenger to humans sent by the gods, but the symbol goes back further to ancient Mesopotamia. The image of serpents wrapped around a staff has always represented something important. Even today, it's used to represent medicine. In Greek mythology, it was associated with commerce. In Indian mythology, it was associated with hidden knowledge. In alchemy, it's associated with immortality. Some believe it's an ancient depiction of the double helix of human DNA, which suggests our ancient ancestors knew about DNA. They suggest such knowledge was lost in the Dark Age and only rediscovered in the 1950s. If you've ever looked closely at a US dollar bill, this symbol might have freaked you out. It can also be found on the Declaration of the Rights of Man. It's called the Eye of Providence, and can be found on many buildings from the 18th and 19th centuries. It was a standard Masonic symbol, mostly used for religious purposes, representing the all-seeing eye of God. And as the Freemasons believe God is the architect of our universe, they would pay tribute to him with this symbol. It's a lot more innocent than some conspiracy theories would have you believe. It is a bit creepy though. The hamsa is a symbol of protection, in the shape of a human hand with an eye in its palm. It's common to see all over the Middle East and North Africa. Muslims and Jews believe it protects against the evil eye. That's a curse people can put on each other just by looking at them hatefully. Since the ancient world, people have been seeking symbols to protect against that curse. In Italy, the horned hand sign was used until recently, but the hamsa is the longest lasting and most popular. All across the Middle East, people wear it around their neck, which is incredible considering it can be traced back to ancient Mesopotamia. One of the most common motifs in world mythology is the serpent, or dragon, eating its own tail. Long associated with alchemy and magic, it can be traced back to the enigmatic Book of the Netherworld, which is the best named religious document ever, and found in the tomb of Tutankhamun. Incidentally, the symbol is also found in Norse and Hindu mythology. It represents infinity, and the cycle of life, the infinite cycle of creation and destruction we can observe. Ideas like this were primarily spread by symbols, often hidden within stories, as we evolved as a storytelling species. In Norse legends, a dragon grew so big it encircled the whole world, and began to bite its own tail. If you've spent much time in Eastern Europe, you might have seen the double-headed eagle. It was used to represent the Austrian Empire and the Imperial Russian House. It was first used by the Hittites, who inhabited ancient Turkey. Long after the Hittite Empire fell, the double-headed eagle was adopted by the Byzantine Empire. Something empires tend to do is use the symbols of fallen empires. Western European empires emulated Rome, but Eastern European empires looked to Byzantium, and so even today it's an important national symbol in many countries. You'll find it on the Serbian and Russian coat of arms, and even the Albanian flag. This silly red cap is one of history's most important symbols of freedom. It was worn by rebels during the French Revolution and adopted by revolutionaries in the New World, which is why it can be found depicted on official seals and coats of arms in Cuba, Argentina, Colombia, and many more nations. You can see it here on the seal of the US Senate, along with another symbol we can talk about later. It actually became a symbol of liberty by complete mistake. People confused it with a different hat given to freed slaves in ancient Rome, so it's a ridiculous symbol which doesn't mean what it's used for. This is the Chi Rho. It's made of the first two letters in the Greek word for Christ. The symbol was used to represent how Jesus died on the cross, and was adopted by the Roman Emperor Constantine. He was the first emperor to convert to Christianity and end the persecution of his new religion. This arguably did more to spread the faith than anything else. The Chi Rho really symbolizes that turning point in history, without which Christianity may never have become a major religion. Apparently Ganesh counts as a symbol, and I've been looking for an excuse to include him in a video. He's a big blue elephant man. The swastika will forever be associated with fascism, and that's a real shame. As a religious symbol, it goes back at least 11,000 years. It's most popular in Indian religions, but since ancient times it's also been found in Europe and in the Middle East. It's possible it emerged from the Indus Valley and spread to Europe by messengers, or maybe human civilization naturally turned to the symbol. It could be part of some kind of collective human subconscious. Ancient European tribes used it as a symbol for truth, which is why some European churches still use the swastika today. Adolf Hitler first saw the symbol on a church in his hometown. As mentioned earlier, this symbol is really important. It goes back to ancient Rome as a symbol of power through unity. As a bundle of sticks bound together, it represents how people are stronger when we come together. And so it's been used by various groups since the fall of Rome, who consider themselves united in some way. It was notoriously used by the Italian fascists, but more to represent their imperial ambition. Mussolini wanted to create a new Roman-style empire. Today it's used by the US Senate, which was partly inspired by the Roman Senate. The Lincoln Memorial shows the symbol on his chair's arms, and it currently appears as the national symbol of France. Many groups have claimed to be the natural successor of the Roman Empire, and appropriated this symbol. So that's the end of this video. If you want to support this channel, you can do so simply by leaving a like. And if you want more content from me, I have a second channel where I do different videos about different things.